Hi everyone, HR Guy from recruitmentselectionprocess.com. This is our first in our Recruitment Truth Bomb series. These are short but hopefully useful little nuggets of information that you should follow to get the best results for your next recruitment process. Today, we're going to look at the mantra, recruit for attitude and train for skills. So let's get into it. Have you ever heard of Pareto's Law? It's also known as the 80-20 law. Basically, it talks about how most applications in life, 80% of the outputs derive from 20% of the input. So, 20% of the jobs, 20% of your duties at work might take 80% of your time. Or maybe 80% of the profits that you get out of your store come from 20% of the product stock. You get the idea. In HR, Pareto's Law says that 80% of your time is spent managing 20% of your staff. 80% spent managing 20% of those difficult staff people with lots of issues. They're the bad ones, the ones that fell through the recruitment process, and now they're your problem. So that's where we come to with our recruit for attitude, train for skills. How does it work in practice? Well, think of every position, every applicant, every employee. They're made up of two parts, soft skills and hard skills. Hard skills are the easy ones to identify and quantify. They're things like, can you speak a particular language? Do you have a degree or a certificate in a particular discipline? Can you type at a particular speed? Can you operate a machine? Can you program a language? And so on. Soft skills are a bit harder to identify. They're more like your personal attributes. They're the things that make you good to work with, a nice person. Are you able to handle difficult conversations? All those sort of things. Soft skills, hard skills are very specific. They're about a particular activity usually. Soft skills are a lot more broader application. So because hard skills are easier to quantify, you either have a qualification or you don't, for example. They tend to get more focus in a recruitment process than soft skills. But the long-term success of a new employee will always be predicated more on the soft skills than the hard skills. So that's why we suggest you consciously focus on soft skills as much, if not more, than the hard skills. Let's put it this way. If someone has the right aptitude and attitude, they can usually pick up the hard skills. But someone with hard skills but lacking in aptitude or attitude is going to be a very poor performer. That's almost guaranteed. So how do we make sure we don't forget soft skills throughout the process? Well, you need to incorporate it into every stage. Let's have a look at an example. Let's say we want to recruit a receptionist, or as some people call them, the directors of first impressions. Now, we have to start with the job assessment process. What does the role require? So it's easy to identify the hard skills for the role. Let's say we need this person to be able to type 40 words a minute with 100% accuracy. They've got to have good spelling and writing skills. They've got to be able to use Microsoft, Excel and Word, that sort of thing. That's all easy. But what about the soft skills? Well, we know that this role, this position, gets very busy. There's always lots of people coming in. You've got to be able to handle multiple tasks at once. So we need someone who's good under pressure. We need someone who's polite, someone who has good emotional intelligence, and so on. So when you come to advertising the role, don't just mention the, must be able to type, must be able to use Word. Don't just mention the hard skills. Make sure you put something in the advertisement about the role and the sort of person it would suit. This gives the applicants a chance to self-select. Are they suited to busy roles? Do they mind dealing with the odd angry client? Try and incorporate the soft skills into the ad so that they have an idea what's required. Shortlisting is a little bit harder. At the shortlisting stage, we often just rely on the papers, looking at the resumes, or sometimes making people write out addressing selection criteria. These methods aren't particularly good at identifying soft skills. I might be able to write a convincing paragraph in my application about how I get on with colleagues, but at the end of the day, all you'll be able to ascertain from that is that I can write well. A shortlisting method I like to use, which does assess soft skills, is to invite the applicants in for a group exercise. We'll do another session, another video on how to do group exercises on another day, but essentially you split the applicants into teams, give them some exercise to do, something fun, and then you stand back and watch the interaction. It's a great way of shortlisting your applicants. The interviews. Well, how do you assess soft skills with your interviews? Well, two ways really. You have interview questions that are directly designed to pull out that sort of information. Tell us about a time you've dealt with a difficult client. Tell us about a time that you've had to resolve a conflict within the team, that sort of thing. Okay, pull out those sort of examples from their experience. But just watching and listening to the applicant, you can generally assess some of their soft skills. You can see whether they are easy to get on with. How well do they present? Are they emotional? Are they able to handle their stress and so on? So there's sort of two ways of doing it via the interview process. And then lastly, we've got our reference check. Now, obviously, you design questions around, can the person, how did you find the person in writing their programs, or how did you find the person doing such and such in the hard skills? But equally, your reference check should cover off on the soft skills. How did they get on with their teammates? How did they get on under pressure? All those sort of things that you can get from the referee are really valuable. So we sort of see that the hard skills and the soft skills are really what determine the value to the group. Now, I've had clients in the past tell me that I need this applicant to hit the ground running. And, that's fine. But if that means that you're sacrificing a better applicant with a better attitude and a better aptitude, perhaps but not quite the same level of skill, then you're really making a big mistake. It's really short-sighted to just worry about next week. Think about who will be the best employee in 3 months, in 6 months, in 3 years. That's where you're starting to sort of say, look, the soft skills might actually be a higher priority than the immediate hard skills. So that's it, guys. That's all for this one. If you've got anything out of the first of this Recruitment Truth Bomb series, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to see more of our videos, including the next installment of this series. Also join us over at www.recruitmentselectionprocess.com for more information and resources. And this has been HR Guy. I'd like to thank you for watching.